or two.
Guys, welcome to Black Scout Survival Late Night Live. I think it's fairly evident at this point in time that we're going to be heading into some type of civil unrest, civil war, World War III, all at the same freaking time. And I've got some breaking news that just came out a few hours ago that I'm going to share shortly. I want to cover some other things before we get to that, though. So first, some actual good news for once. Supreme Court has struck down the Donald Trump's bump stock ban, ruling 6-3 that the ATF has exceeded its authority when it issued the rule. The ban came after the Vegas shooting. If you guys, remember that that's a Pandora's box in and of itself. But Justice Thomas basically said that semi-automatic firearms, which require shooters to re-engage the trigger for every shot, are not machine guns. This case asks whether a bump stock and accessory basically to allow the shooter to rapidly re-engage the trigger, therefore achieving a higher rate of fire. Does it really convert a rifle into a machine gun? And he said that it does not. The challenge came for this bump stock ban from Mike Cargill, owner of Central Texas Gunworks in Austin, Texas. And what he said was the federal government, and I totally agree with this guy. He said they initially start out with just the bump stock, and then they focus on this little part, this little piece here. But since then, it's grown to other things. Federal agencies are using the exact same verbiage and the exact same rule to basically go after everything else. And he went on to say that they're going after AR-15 stabilizer braces, they're going after triggers, 80% frames, receivers, and all of this with the same language they use for bump stocks, because it was an emotional move at that point in time, because the Vegas shooting, they used the emotions of the public to persuade and make it happen. Now, this is wild. This is wild. Pentagon wants to feed troops experimental lab-grown meat to reduce the CO2 footprint. What in wokeism is really going on? So, you want to feed what? The Defense Department announced earlier today that they're seeking to develop innovations in food production that reduce CO2 footprint and in DoD operational environments, i.e. military. These include novel cell culture methods. And I've heard novel cell before, and that's never good when that comes up. Suitable for the production of cultivated meat, protein, or lab-grown meat, a product that is still experimental phases. This type of meat is grown in a lab from animal cells with an aid of other chemicals. Chemicals. So we're going to be eating chemicals. And why do we keep on experimenting on our troops, dude? It's like the military's turned into a test lab full of guinea pigs is what it's turned into, And if that isn't bad enough, this came out today. The other day, drinking Coke. They're promoting drinking Coke. Drinking Coke and Pepsi may increase testicle size and testosterone production. What? Now, I just know this from my own experiment. This is not true. this is not true whatsoever. So the study has suggested that soda consumption may increase testosterone levels and testicle size in men. I think maybe the testicle size increase is not a good thing. I don't know. But to test their hypothesis, they studied male mice and they gave them water only. And then they gave them Coke and Pepsi to the remaining group. And on day 15, the scientists performed an analysis and basically included blood tests, weight and diameter measurements, etc., and found that the testes of the mice that drank Pepsi and Coke were increased significantly by day 15. So 15 days of drinking pure Coke is going to increase your testicle size. I don't think that's a good thing. I'm not a scientist, but I'm telling you right now, I don't think that's a good byproduct. But they said they also found out that the concentrations of serum testosterone in all mice were enhanced after the Pepsi and Coca-Cola treatment. So they basically summed up that high doses of Pepsi Cola and Coca-Cola could improve testosterone secretion in men. I don't buy it. Every man out there is trying to look to increase their testosterone production. Every man, right? Even some women, right? But is this propaganda? Or is it because they really want to weaken you? Because men are out there seeking remedies to enhance testosterone. So now you're going to have dudes out there buying cases of Coca-Cola and consuming it. And I mean, just to kind of like go along with this point, look at this. Everything you've been told is a lie inside the wellness to fascism pipeline. So now working out is fascist. 1 minute you're doing the downward dog, the next you're listening to conspiracy theories about the coup and New World Order. How did the desire to look after yourself become so toxic? So getting fit is now a right-wing fascist movement. And if that wasn't the only article, I mean, there's tons of them. Getting fit is great, but it could turn you into a right-wing jerk. I mean, this is serious. This is serious. They really publish these things. And I can tell you this. I believe, and this has been going on for a very long time, that the U.S. government is wanting to make Americans weak and controllable in many ways, not just in a physicality, but also mentally. I think 2020 probably pushed a lot of people over the edge, and they become very weak and docile because of the tyranny that took place, and people believing that these entities, these government entities, actually had their best interests in mind, which is never the case. But so mentally, physically, and the physical thing, I talk about this all the time, and I'm going to go down a rabbit hole for a second. We're going to get back to the main topic, but I'm going down a rabbit hole. I'm just warning you now. The bottom line is physical strength down to, I mean, you look at the law of the jungle. Physical strength is what separates societies. If you look through all the greatest societies in the world, the physicality, just raw, brutal strength is what overcomes. And I promise you that just being fit makes people uncomfortable. We're going down a rabbit hole. Being fit, I promise you, makes other people uncomfortable. When you walk around, because I've been both, I've been out of shape and I've been in shape. And I notice there's a stark difference when you're fit, when you have some level of muscle mass. People treat you differently. In public, they will be very respectful to you. On the internet, they will hate you and shame you. And I'm going to talk about that for a moment, because I get a lot of hate now just because I focused on bodybuilding the past 2 years. I've worked out forever. I mean, man, 20 years. I've done everything, CrossFit, I've done it all. And I really studied this stuff. I've got it down to what I believe is the most beneficial, because over the years, even 5 years ago, I'm like, oh man, CrossFit functional fitness is the best, but really it just puts a tremendous amount of wear and tear on your body. And if you're a CrossFitter, look, and you like it, do your thing, do whatever makes you happy. If it's long distance running, whatever it is, whatever makes you happy. If it's going to the gym and getting on the cycle for 45 minutes, whatever makes you happy. I'm not saying everybody has to follow what I'm saying, but what I've studied and what I believe achieving some level of muscle mass keeps you alive longer. From what I've studied in research, attaining and keeping muscle mass keeps you alive and a better quality of life for a longer period of time. And so whenever I was doing functional fitness, I said, oh man, bodybuilding stuff it's not functional. To be honest, I'm much more functional than I was when I was doing functional fitness. It's wild. And I think it's because of what I've studied and nutrition. So I'm going to show you a video from 9 years ago of me. This is me starting a fire with a car battery. And I want you to see what I look like now. I was dirty bulking then, following the Starting Strength program. Do you know the Starting Strength, Mark Ripitone? I like the guy. I think if you want to get strong, great program, but you will get overweight. And I was kind of dirty bulking. I was eating whatever, Let me go ahead and pop this video up here. Look at this. Let me cut the audio. Look at this belly. Holy cow. And I was working out then, dude. I'm doing starting strength. I'm doing squat, bench press, back row, all those sort of things. I'm eating whatever. Look at that belly. Jeez, it's wider than my shoulders. And look, you can all look at that. Goodness gracious. You can always look back at yourself and make fun of yourself. That's always a good thing, right? And I was there. But the problem is age caught up with me. So let me tell you this, for probably 10 years, I was working out, and I'm not kidding you. You can ask anybody that knows me. I only ate pizza. I drank Mountain Dew, not diet, Mountain Dew, no water, and I smoked cigarettes. I had a six pack. I was very strong and in great shape, but I was young. And so that's the thing. When you're young, you can get away with a lot more. As you get older, certain things don't operate the same, like your metabolism and such. And so it caught up with me. Right. And so then I had to learn about nutrition. And when I say nutrition, I don't eat like chicken, broccoli, and rice. I don't do that. I do like an 80-20. I still eat good food. Like I'm not going to be miserable. I don't want to be miserable. Right. I'm not going to go in a bodybuilding competition. So I don't care about achieving Chris Bumstead level of physique or anything. I just want to be healthy in shape and not be weak. You know, Mountain Dew is good. And I do miss it. I'm not drinking in like 10 years, but I do miss it. But I heard it does terrible things to your testicles. So it's probably a good thing. But, you know, and so what I'm getting back to is that, like, back then when I made videos and I got a lot of views then, I got probably more views on my videos back then in those days. And I get so much more hate now. And a lot of them, they're talking about, oh, you're trying to show off this and that. And this is the thing I didn't know, because whenever I would see a jack guy, I'd say he's trying to show off because he's wearing a tight shirt. The problem is if you wear the next bigger size because your waist is smaller than your shoulders, it looks like a freaking dress. You know what I mean? Like even this shirt is tied up here, but it's very loose here because your waist is smaller, you know? And so you get a certain level of hate because you make other people feel uncomfortable. And I actually ran across this guy's video the other day, and he was saying the same thing. And he doesn't have many viewers, but I thought the guy was very insightful. He's a young guy. But I'm going to let you hear what he has to say real quick. He says, does getting jacked actually change your life? And he talks about the negative part of it. So I'm going to let him talk real quick.
They will look at you and they will see you doing well. And then they will look at themselves and then they'll realize, you know, where they need to improve. And you've just made them realize that, oh, there's this area of my life that I'm lacking. And instead of being motivated and inspired by that, they want to tear you down. They want to hate on you. In their head, they want to pull you down so they don't feel as bad about themselves. So maybe they might go on this video and write some mean comments, you know, or they will just say stuff to you. Rarely does people actually just say anything to your face in person. They might talk about you behind your back, but even if they don't say anything and it's all in their head, there are some people out there in the world who will get jealous or envious, or, you know, you'll make them feel worse just by being in good shape. But unfortunately, you can't please everyone. That's something that's outside of your control.
So James Sweetland is his name. I just ran across, watched a few of his videos. Good stuff. If you go follow him, let him know you watched it here. But I thought it was very insightful, and I experienced the same thing. The thing is I thought I would motivate people and try to help people with what I've learned, you know, but people hate you, you know. I mean, and there's lots of followers that do. They message me all the time that are in great shape. They're much in better shape than I am, you know, and they thank me for getting them on that road, you know. But you know, you want to motivate people because you want everybody to be harder to kill. That's all it is. Stronger people are harder to kill, and that's what it is. But I will say, like, even down to a micro level, like in your day-to-day life, you'll see people look at you and stuff. They'll never say anything to you. They'll never say anything to you. But online, they will hate you. They may talk about your back, just like this gentleman says. But at a macro level, the government definitely doesn't want you to either. Right. And so that's what I'm saying. When you look at down to a micro and a macro, and back to the micro, the thing is you could be broke. You could, you know, be having a hard time in life, and being in shape. Being in shape, you can't buy it. So it supersedes the classism, because I think a lot of America is based off classism. A lot of people say it's based off racism. I think racism in conjunction with classism, but most people are classist, because if you take very wealthy people that are of different ethnic backgrounds, they're not going to even talk about it, but they push that as a division tool in a classist mindset. They keep the lower income people fighting about this sort of thing. But you can have a great physique and a rich guy looks at you and he can't attain what you can attain. I'm not saying you got to be a bodybuilder or anything, but even just being 10% better. And, you know, but we're knocking on the war of freaking World War III, right? And getting fit doesn't require any money. And you don't even really need any gym equipment. Years ago, I had this black guy named Omar that started working for me, and he had just been out of prison for a week. And this dude was yoked, jacked. And I asked him what he did. And body weight exercises. He was in prison for 10 years for drugs. So basically, and he told me what he did. And essentially it's time under tension, because if you look at like the late great Mike Metzner, he's an old bodybuilder, almost fought Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, and he was a right wing guy before it was right wing, but he's had a posthumous he's posthumously came popular again, but he's dead now. But he said that your muscle knows no difference between a dumbbell, barbell, machine, or body weight, because it doesn't. Your muscles do not know. It's only the resistance and time under tension. You know, and then I hear a lot of people use the excuse of TRT. Oh, so-and-so's on TRT, da-da-da. I can, for every in shape person that's on TRT, I can show you 500 people that are on TRT that are overweight. I'm telling you, TRT is not a magic potion. You'll get on TRT and you'll be very disappointed in the results. Will it make you feel better? Yes, but it's not anti-aging, right? It doesn't anti-aging. And we're going to get back on point. I told you I'm going down a rabbit hole, so just bear with me. Y'all can chat in the chat and enjoy each other's company. But TRT is not anti-aging. And steroids, which Joe Biden outlawed back in the day, can pose a significant risk to your body. You could kill yourself. There's Joe Lindler, that YouTuber that just died. You know, he's like freaking in his 20s. So I want to live forever. You know what I mean? I want anti-aging, and there's many methods of doing that. Eating healthy. A lot of people do what's the diet, the carnivore or keto diets and stuff, and they say they feel better. I have had friends of mine that had like various ailments. They go carnivore and completely they're like healed. They're off their medications and such. But you know, I want to live forever, and NMN. I take this stuff. Like, I tell you exactly what I do. I'm this stuff is anti-aging. Like, it removed the wrinkles from my face. It helps, you know, your body produce things. Just like berberine helps with metabolism. You saw my gut in the other video. Berberine is like a natural metformin, and if you're a diabetic, you know what metformin does about changing your blood glucose. The problem is that metformin makes you almost poop your pants all the time, whereas berberine don't. You know, and then you can take stuff like testosterone as a muscle builder. I did a video about this. It was odd because I never even talked about fitness really. People started to notice I was in shape, getting in better shape, you know, and they asked me about testosterone. I said, yeah, I've actually been taking it for 4 months. And so then I did a video on it. And so then we went down this new period of content. But if you think, you know, like the government's wanting to ban NMN, the government's wanting to ban testosterone, and why do you think that is? Because sick people make the government money. They're in bed with pharmaceutical companies. I mean, think about nutritious food is expensive, right? But try being sick. How expensive is that? Have a serious health problem. Lifting weights is hard work. Try being weak. You know, fitness is time consuming. Right, but waiting in the doctor's office is time consuming, you know, and like Dana White said about the, you know, as far as going to doctors anymore, man, like unless I'm broken or bleeding, like I'm not listening to any of these guys. These clowns showed up in 2020 and told us who they really were, you know, but getting in shape, you're harder to kill. You seen that girl that was attacked in the gym in Florida? And she was very strong. I mean, I think she had like I think she had 2 plates on each side. So I think she was squatting 225, I think, in the video. And that dude came and attacked her, and she whooped his behind, you know. But it could be a conspiracy. I could just be a conspiracy theorist, but you know, it is what it is. And I think that I've always wanted to inspire people. That's been my thing, not to make you feel like we're in competition at all. I'm not in competition with anybody, man. And like John Willis says, I'm not here to compete with you. I'm here to complete you. I want to help you. I want to help you get better, because other people obviously help me. And there's a lot of people out there telling you a lot of bullshit too. Tons of people telling you bullshit, because I've tried all of it. All of this nonsense. I'll do this, do that. You know, like the Chris Hemsworth Center Fit app. Chris Hemsworth ain't doing freaking Center Fit. And how I know, because I actually know some of the guys that are in the Center Fit group, and one of them actually wore my shirt, Black Scout shirt, on the Men's Health cover. I'll post it up. I should have posted it up now, but he sent me some pictures. He was one of the trainers on Center Fit, Chris Hemsworth's friend. He wore the Black Scout shirt on, like with the crest on it, in the Men's Health article. So it was in the magazine. It was pretty dope. But anyway, with that, Black Forest supplements this weekend, because of Father's Day, 30% off store wide with code Black Scout. So 30% off for everything you want. Man, if you're overweight, at least try berberine. You want to build muscle, turkesterone. You want to live, be strong, healthy forever, NMNH. I've been using this stuff. It's good to go. So Black Scout at Black Forest Supplements. I'll put the link below. Code Black Scout, 30% off. 30% off is actually very good on some of these products, because then it's barely anything. And if you can stock up, I would say stock up now, because I don't know that they'll do a 30% off store-wide thing. And obviously, happy Father's Day to all you fine fathers out there. It's a hard job. It's a hard job to be a father, provider, protector, and all those sort of things. And it's downplayed in today's society. And, you know, men are viewed as evil and all these sort of things. And just, you may be getting beaten down. You may be, you know, living separated from your kids or whatever. Just know that, you know, you're a huge part of their life. And anyway, being in shape, you can't get in shape overnight. I'm sorry I went down that rabbit hole, but we have, I'm saying this because, you know, a lot of skills, like I can teach you survival and you'll pretty much remember that forever, right? You can go watch my videos and pretty much grasp those things. You can go out in the backyard and practice those things. You can get them in. This is kind of always in the memory bank, but fitness, you have to attain and maintain as well. But we have Russian nuclear subs lurking off our coast. We have Chinese balloons flying into our airspace, terrorists infiltrating through our southern border, known terrorists. You know, they tried to block my video, and I got in a very nasty argument with one of the guys at YouTube about that. He blocked my video and said it was racist or something, because I was saying there was a literal terrorist. I showed the video of the terrorists actually coming through, confirmed. You know, we have a Russian fleet of battleships off our shores, and all these things paint a clear picture that our national security is under constant threat, and we don't know the timeline. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week, it could be next year, but something is definitely happening. The evidence is there. There's complete instability in our country, in the world, and it's unmistakable. You know, and if you're paying attention, you see the signs. And now breaking this afternoon, and they always do this junk on Friday. I didn't know this. I had a lady, Leif Babin, who is Jocko Willink's teammate. He was a Navy SEAL officer. His wife, Leif Babin's wife, used to work for Fox News. I had her on the show, I think 2 years ago, and she's got a Instagram page called Smart Her News, and Jen is her name. Very, very cool lady, very knowledgeable. And she's the one who told me this, that pay attention on Fridays, because that's when they pass bills, because most Americans are out celebrating their weekend and they're not paying attention. So now Congress today, just a few hours ago, automatically passed defense bill automatically registering men 18 to 26 for draft. So it used to be 18 to 24, but now it's 18 to 26, and it's automatic. So you used to have to go down to the post office. I went down to the post office. Now it's automatic, but that's just right now, right? But what's also coming is a few other things. Now, this was part of the annual National Defense Authorization Act, which sets out basically the government's national security priorities and military moves over the next fiscal year, so 2025. They authorized an extra $9 billion increase in the defense budget. Now, there's a ton of stuff in here, but one of the other things is that they intend to require women to be part of the selective service draft by fiscal year 2025. So automatic 18 to 26 male and female. Why do you think that is? Because it's going to be World War III. So automatically getting men 18 to 26 and now wanting to shuttle women into this. Now, what they said was it was so it could be equitable. Now, my eye always starts twitching when they use that type of woke terms. I start getting a twitch. You ever notice on the videos I start twitching? Is because that woke Marxism always gets to me. But what I hope it means is that the politicians' sons and daughters have to go too. That's what I hope. But this is after Biden just signed a declaration to give $50 billion to Ukraine over the next 10 years at G7. Now, what does this sound like? What does this sound like, guys? Of all the things brewing and the things we've been talking about, now this drafting, why would you even meddle with this unless you knew something was coming down the pipe? We have politicians investing big money into the military industrial complex stocks. Go take a look. It's there. They're investing huge amounts of money. Why would they do that? Unless they know something's coming. Now, there were some good things in the bill. So they're eliminating some woke ideology and DI incentives. Promotion should be based on performance. Good. It should always be that way. Oh, because you're a black guy, we're going to make you a master sergeant. No, that's not how it works. You got to be best man for the job. Apparently, also, Joe Biden was wanting to decrease. I didn't know this today. He was wanting to decrease the special operations soldiers numbers. Why to weaken us? So that was stopped in the bill. So some good things in the bill. So, and like I said before, but maybe it was a strategic move because usually more conventional forces are used during this, and especially cyber. There's a lot of cyber. Dude, this bill is so long. Like it took me 3 hours to go through it. There's so much cyber stuff in there that it's unreal. So that's what we should expect. We should expect our infrastructure attack. We should expect all this stuff to happen to our digital system here because that's coming. That's coming. And I heard the other day a guy, and I think he was a CIA guy. He was saying we're already in World War III, but World War III doesn't look like World War II, and it doesn't look like World War I. He's like, World War II did not look like World War I either, but we're already in World War III. A lot of digital stuff is happening, right? A lot of posturing and these sort of things. So it could be true. Now, another good thing is that they prohibited providing security assistance funding to the Taliban. Why the hell are we giving security assistance to the Taliban? I don't get it. I don't get it. So, like, why are we even doing that? Now, other good thing, they're going to fully fund the National Guard to go to the southern border. Dude, we should have military like the other countries I've been to. The military is guarding the borders. Like, it makes no sense, dude. Our military only serves foreign nations. I mean, really, that's what it looks like. Our U.S. military should be full-time at the southern border and northern border and every shore. If I was to run a country in a fictitious world, that's what I would do. It also said that they were going to prohibit DoD from using disaster and humanitarian relief funds to house refugees in the U.S. Why are we doing that? Why? That's not a disaster. So the next disaster that happens that hurts American people, there's going to be no money there because refugees were getting taken care of. Now, other reason why I think something, they're also going to fund 2 new Virginia-class submarines. And they're also going to establish a drone force in the U.S. Army. So a lot of these things are signs. I mean, you got to pay attention. And a lot of people will say, no, man, everything's fine. Everything's fine, man. You know, we'll talk about Caitlin Clark. We'll make a video about Caitlin Clark, man. She got pushed. The best thing that happened to the WNBA was Caitlin Clark being pushed, because no conservative even knew who Caitlin Clark was or anybody there. And then I care so little about the NBA. I didn't even know that there was a WNBA. I just didn't even know. I couldn't believe that people actually went and watched WNBA. But the conservatives are full blown, man. The Daily Wire. Let's make some videos. Let's make some videos. We can talk about these safe things. We don't want to step on the lines of YouTube policy. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark getting pushed there. Who cares? The freaking world is burning. Start paying attention to who you watch, because if they're talking about bullshit all the time, distractions, that's a distraction. We have submarines, freaking nuclear subs down there at the coast of Florida, and you're talking about some WNBA. Pay attention to who you watch. They're distractions. Just because they talk conservative things, you know. But it's wild. So much going on. So much going on in the world. And just pay attention. It's there. It's there. We've been in a slow boil, and I get it. And a lot of Americans, hardworking Americans, just their day to day, they're like, man, you know, life is just this way. And they've been in a slow boil, and they're not recognizing the signs. I'm telling you right now, there are signs. So get ready and stay prepared. But I'm also going to let me talk to these people real quick. Bear, thanks, brother. We are bigger trouble than I thought. Yeah, man, we are. Man, member for 23 months, Zark. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for being with our group. The tribe, go join that tribe. Mark Naraki, thank you for the sticker. And the original Osak, thanks for ongoing great. Thank you, buddy. Let me see who else we got. Indio. Thanks, man. You're from South Central Los Angeles. Daggum, dude. You better stay frosty down there. Man. Mike, I can't even believe there's Patriots down there, but good, Indio. Good. I'm glad, man. I love to see that people are all over the place, too. I love to do these lives and see these people that are from all over the freaking. I had a guy, he said, he posted, it was a comment the other day, and he was like, I'm a Patriot checking in from Indonesia. Crazy, man. You know, that's the good thing. Like, there's a lot of negatives about social media, but there is some positives, and that's definitely one of them. But man, I love you guys, and definitely all the fathers out there, man. Stay strong. You're needed. And trust me, you may feel underappreciated, but you're not. And in the long run, your kids will know it. They'll know the sacrifices and the things you did for them. So guys, I'm going to put that link below for Black Forest supplements, man. Go get yoked. Go make everybody uncomfortable when you walk in a room, and make people online talk crap about you. Go get you some of these. And if you need specific things, turkesterone muscle building, NMN for muscle building, health, anti-aging, berberine, fat loss, metabolism control, Tongkat Ali for testosterone increases, stanch, all that kind of stuff. They do have a Turk and Tongkat Ali together. That's a freaking super dose there. But check those out, guys. I'll put the link below. Black Scout is the code to get you 30% off, man. Happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there, guys. Stay frosty, stay strapped, and always stay dangerous. Take care.